Oil company BP is to cut 200 jobs and 100 contractor roles following a review of its North Sea operations. It is believed that most of the cuts will be onshore. The company expects a relatively small number of compulsory redundancies. Staff at BP's North Sea headquarters in Aberdeen have been briefed about the plans. BP currently employs 3,500 people in the North Sea, with a further 11,000 elsewhere in the UK. The oil giant announced a major restructuring in December in response to the fall in the world oil price, which has halved in recent months. BP said it needed to respond to toughening market conditions. The company has been downsizing since the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. The recent oil price reduction has simply made this even more imperative, it said. Trevor Garlick, regional president for BP North Sea, said, "We are committed to the North Sea and see a long-term future for our business here. However, given the well-documented challenges of operating in this maturing region and in toughening market conditions, we are taking specific steps to ensure our business remains competitive and robust, and we are aligning with the wider industry. Whilst our primary focus will be on improving efficiencies and on simplifying the way we work, an inevitable outcome of this will be an impact on headcount, and we expect a reduction of around 200 staff and 100 contractor roles. We have spoken to staff and will work with those affected over the coming months." Last month, BP announced that plans to cut hundreds of jobs within its back-office departments, many of them based in the UK and US, would be accelerated. The restructuring is expected to cost £640 million in the coming years. The price of a barrel of oil dropped to a low of about $46 earlier this week from a peak of about $115 last summer. It stood at about $50 at 1300 hours on Thursday. Oil prices hit record highs above $147 a barrel in July 2008, but as the global economic crisis began to bite, they plummeted to around $30 in December of the same year before rising sharply again. BP is the latest in a string of North Sea operators to announce job losses, with Shell cutting 250 jobs last August, and Chevron losing 225 in July. Some, including the Wood Group and Chevron, have announced salary freezes for staff and pay cuts for contractors. Even before oil prices started to fall, the industry had said it needed to address high costs, which included the number of contractors on large, often six-figure salaries. Mick Cash, General Secretary of the Rail, Maritime, and Transport, RMT, Union, said BP's announcement was a devastating blow to workers and said he had been warned there was much worse to come. He added, RMT believes that the industry is making offshore workers carry the kin for their failure to plan for lean times such as these. Instead, they have gone for a short-term slash-and-burn approach that will have long-term implications for the future of the entire industry and the security of the UK's energy supplies. He said the unions would be pushing for a halt to the job cuts programme and an emergency package of measures to stave off the destruction of both jobs and infrastructure when they meet with industry body Oil and Gas UK on Friday. We are also continuing to lobby politicians for incentives to allow exploration, maintenance, safety, and engineering development works to take place during this emergency period for the industry, he added. On Wednesday, the Scottish First Minister said the falling price of oil posed a risk to jobs in the North Sea as she announced a task force was being set up to help the sector. Nicola Sturgeon also made the offer of a funded guarantee to support apprenticeships in the industry.